Mark, hello, mate.
How are you, Terry? How are you?
I'm somewhat relieved, to be done, if I'm honest.
I'm exactly the same. It's just been our season that it is. Just certain periods, certain moments of games. That's just basically the difference of the result itself. And I mean, from the first quarter, we were lowering the eyes. We were having these slick handballs through the middle of the ground. We actually looked a lot active than being, I guess, well, we looked a lot more proactive than reactive. But then, of course, the second quarter, as you and everybody else had known, we just basically went into our shell. I mean, Brisbane had, 23 inside 50s that second term. I could recall at that one point when it was at 20, they were basically averaging a goal per 4 inside 50s. And normally when we have that amount of entries, let's say if it was in a quarter or even through the majority of the game, we just haven't obviously been able to take our chances. But in saying that, though, I knew Brisbane's inaccuracy in front of goal was always going to, I guess, sour them, while for ours, I mean, it was good that we were able to finish off with 10-1. But, in saying that, again, it's just been the tale of our season, and this is the big push that we need for 2021. Shorter games, but having these run-ons, it's just simply unacceptable. In saying that, I'm happy for Simo. We managed to fight it out, which was good, because if you think of the last few years in particular, well, I mean, we haven't won a last round game since 2013, although that was the 22-23 round season. But if you look at the last few, in particular, like Sydney 2017, we were destroyed by 10 plus goals, if not 80 odd points. Adelaide, we were destroyed by 100. Last year by over 10 goals to Geelong. And at least this year was actually our lowest defeat, if you then have to go by the 2014 draw that we had against Essendon there. So, in saying that, it would have been nice to obviously get the win for Simo. We could have gone as high as 10th. And then that way you could have had some incentive as far as players that we want to attract to our club. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, they managed to be, another team in the top 4. Plus they had a few lapses where if they have tidied that up, we could have easily been a top 8, if almost a top 4 side. But again, it's just, where is it? There we are, right here. Right here. A Madonna tested di chucha. Sometimes we've got heads of donkeys, sometimes our boys. But at the same time, I want to put this out to you, if you can answer this as best as possible. How would you sort of think of this trade-off? I was thinking, instead of just getting maybe a Brad Crouch, maybe both the Crouch brothers, and we give up what we hold a pick 7 with a Paddy Dow, with a David Cunningham, and maybe even a Levi Casbolt that could actually, I guess, take the pressure off a young Elliot Himmelberg, for example, where we're doing them a favour, but at the same time they're doing us a favour where we can use a few more, couple of bigger bodies in the midfield. Just wonder what your thoughts are for that. It's just, again, a bit of a throw-out suggestion. Whether that works out or not, I don't know. But what are your thoughts about that?
It's not the right time to ask that question, is the answer. Let's get stuck into off-season over the next few weeks. Let me actually think about it, because you've just put it to me.
Yep.
It sounds great. My first reaction is, I don't know if Adelaide take that deal, but I haven't really thought about it. So, yeah, mate. Did you think that the boys? I mean, let's start with one of my favourite moments of the night. I thought the halftime spray was a long time coming.
You mean the spray like, when the fuck are you going to start lifting for this goddamn club?
Yeah.
But,
mate,
but too late. Where was that? You saw that from me last week, and you've seen it again tonight. But it's not that bloody hard. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I know. Some will say that the spray should have come 6 weeks ago, and I agree with that. The main thing is, now Teague's absolutely given one to them, and it's funny because, the fans come on here and yourself as well, you've come on and you've been very passionate, and some of the fans have been criticised for being that passionate. Now that Teague's done it, I think it marries up with the passion that the fans are showing. Because, mate, this is about winning now. This is about winning now. This isn't about rebuilding anymore. The rebuild was done.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's why when you think how by next year we're going to be hitting the dirty, flirty, thirsty 30 mark, it's got to be now. It just has to be now. I mean, again, you look at this effect of generational supporters that are potentially lost. I mean, again, you know, the teenagers that are coming in are just so used to what they're seeing right now. Do we want that for the next lot of teenagers coming in, and then the next after that? We're not going to have any legends at our club anymore to so-called celebrate a 40th anniversary or a 50th or a 60th. That's all great and all with the Collingwood reunions, but it gets to a point where the group that we've got now, it's in their destiny to make it all happen. If you want to win, you got to make it a win. And that's why at the same time, look, yes, we're competitive, but at the same time, you saw it from the game itself. The second quarter was the only difference that unfortunately put us away. But in saying that, it's a big 2021, because hopefully we're the ones that finally start making that big statement. And you know what? Stuff the critics. Fair dinkum. Just stuff all those so-called experts. They think they know everything, because you know what? You could not have predicted, you know, whichever side that was to be the big bolt or the big decliner. Look, all I will say this before we, I guess, wrap it up, because you've got, I know, about 1,000 or 10,000 people to go on this show tonight. You'll probably go on to next morning. I will say this quickly. Last time.
Yep.
We didn't finish bottom 4. Tick. We won 7 games, but we had 8 out of 17 now that were 10 points or less. Okay, can we work around that? Absolutely. It all comes from here. Again, in saying that, 18 out of 28 that he's coached, David Teague, 11 of last year plus the 17 this year. 28. So 18 out of 28. 64% of that 5-goal turnaround. That's got to stop. We've got to decrease that by the 40 to 30% mark. And from there, we can only get onwards and upwards. Come on, Blues. Bring on 2021, and I'll see you all there.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for joining.